The corporate triangle of bondage. That's the name of this message, just in case you guys didn't get the title of this message when you came on. The corporate triangle of bondage. Now, what's the triangle? The triangle is the pyramid. It's the pyramid. The pyramid is the system that we live in. All the way from being a debt slave, which is 99% of us. 99% of us are debt slaves. We at the bottom of the triangle. And all the way up top of the triangle, or the pyramid, shall I say, is the eye of Lucifer. You'll never get there. But everybody trying to reach their enlightenment. What you think the top of the pyramid is all about? It's all about reaching your third eye. It's all about reaching your self-enlightenment. Well, that's what man is on a quest to do. Men and women. Men and women. In this corporate system, it's all about achieving more, making more money, chasing the bag all the way. See, people are trying to chase the bag all the way up top till they reach their enlightenment or reach to the top of their craft. You get it? By this knowledge. But at the same time, the knowledge is what's corrupting man. So that means that man would do anything to get to the top by him knowing. So knowing is what's leading mankind astray. Because mankind is doing anything he feels like doing based upon what he thinks he knows to get the bag so that he can be his own God. But you don't even know. You'll never get up top. They have it set in the system to where you have to go through all of these facets of society in order to get to the top, but you'll never get there because everything that serves as the lie in between you as a debt slave trying to get to the eye of Lucifer is there to deceive you and blind you, making you think you gonna get up top, making you think you gonna be wealthy, making you think you gonna live forever, making you think ain't nobody ever gonna take you off of this thing because you got it all covered and you a big boss, and making you think that you somebody that you not. Making you think that people gonna love you because your popularity. It's making you think all of that. Because that's what, but meanwhile, guess what? You get to a certain level and you won't even realize that you stay always under the threshold of success. You never see it. That's what the system is there to do. The system is there to keep you operating and keep you running like a hamster on a hamster wheel, giving you the illusion that you are moving up, yet you're blinded by everything you're trying to move towards, but yet you're still running in the same circle, not realizing you running out of time on the same circle. You running out of time on the same hamster wheel. You running out of time on the same treadmill. You running out of time, yet you haven't realized in your running you ain't even got to your goal. You hadn't even achieved success. You still running, but you dying before you ever reach the top. Then when you die and you go to hell. All trying to reach the eye of Lucifer, but you never get there. Please, I need y'all to catch that. So you just a debt slave. Why? Because the United States of America is modeled after Egypt. That's what these global elites were looking to do when they facilitated and manufactured and engineered the United States of America. It was all about making and building another Egypt where everybody would be slaves and they would be the pharaoh. So what does Egypt mean? Egypt means bondage. So the goal was to take physical Egypt in Africa and make the United States of America just like physical Egypt in Africa, and using all of that knowledge that they was operating off in Egypt and Babylon, all of that witchcraft, all that demonology, to use all of that concocting and mixing potions and curses and spells and hexes and all of this stuff that they were using in Egypt and Babylon, Freemasonry, to build the United States of America, where this would be another plantation. So the money is your incentive, making you think you own something. The money is the incentive, making you think that you're reaching your own quest to success. The money is the incentive, making you think you liberated. The money is the incentive, making you think that you are a CEO of your own life. The money is the incentive, not realizing that, wait a minute, you are the good. You're the capital good. You are the product. You are the slave. Because the money that they gave you as an incentive to make you think you free by operating in this world of luxury and pleasure, and you financing your own sin, causing you to go to hell, they own the money. But not only do they own the money they gave you as an incentive, they own the stuff you buying with the money. So they own the money, they own you, they own Mercedes-Benz, they own the jewels, they own the homes, they own the pools, they own the mansions, they own the Lamborghinis, they own everything you got. while you working as a slave and you stand away from the Most High Yah. But you still going to church on Sunday, thanking God and Jesus, and you don't even realize that they set that up too because they own the religious system. They own it. That's why y'all still on white Jesus and the cross, because they own that. They own white Jesus and they own the cross and they own the churches. It's to keep you a debt slave. It's to keep you working and working and working and slaving and pouring into the system. Yet you don't even realize that you still living in sin doing it. The corporate triangle of bondage. The triangle is the system. It's a corporate system of bondage, enslavement. You see how they come with all these distractions to keep you away from Yah's word? They come with all these distractions to keep you from studying. They come with all these distractions to keep you from seeing financial collapse coming on America. They keep you distracted by keeping you or keeping you blind to famines, keeping you blind to financial collapse and economical downturn. They come with all this entertainment to keep you blinded from seeing that everything that's going on in these third world countries is coming to the United States of America. Why you think it's on your tracking device, which is your cell phone, which is your Apple Watch, which is your computer, which is your laptop? That's why you have everything at your fingertips. Everything is at your disposal. Everything you want. If you want to go shopping, get on your phone. If you want to watch porn, beat off and jerk off, get on the phone. If you want to get on there and search up and look for your own pleasure, get on the phone. If you want to watch old movies and old interviews, get on the phone. If you want, do y'all understand what I'm saying? And meanwhile, you enslaved by your own form of entertainment. But at the same time, you don't even see you can get in the word too, right on your phone. So do you see there's no excuse in the end? People won't even say they had an excuse because that same phone that you was watching porn on, you could have got in the word. The same phone you was buying shoes, buying Jordans, and you was buying food and buying stuff, you could have gotten the word. And y'all knows what he's doing. Because in the end, he ain't going to hear nothing you saying. He ain't going to hear nothing. All right, I'm about to read y'all some stuff, okay? This right here is called the United Nations. It's called SDG Summit 2023 United Nations. Now, I told y'all yesterday, soon as they started that 1 cent Wendy's hamburger deal, that's when they began the United Nations Sustainable Development meetings. They started it the same day. They had meetings coming together, convening together about what they getting ready to do with your life. Because they're trying to put everybody on a universal basic income, which means socialism, which means you won't own anything. You won't own your home. You will not own land. You will not own your cars. You won't have cars. Why? Because they're trying to make it to where they don't want you driving. They don't even want that. This is all global control for Satan to take over the world. And Yah is allowing it to happen because he's trying to bring his people to repentance. And he knows the only way he's going to bring people to repentance is to cut off all of their entertainment. It's to cut off the NFL, cut off the NBA. Let's tap the pockets and tap the stomachs. We got to hit the restaurants and hit the money supply. And I'm going to get them to listen. I'm going to get them to listen. See, I already know what y'all has to do in order to get people to hear him. I'm going to mess with their lifestyle. Let me mess with their lifestyle. Let me mess with their living arrangement. And we going to see. Then that's going to be a determining factor on whether or not they going to hearken. They're going to take heed to the voice of the Most High Yah. They're going to repent, or they're going to continue to be rebellious like many are going to be. Many are going to still be rebellious. They're going to still be sexually immoral, and they still going to be worshiping demons, and they still going to be performing magic arts, and they still going to be doing all of that. So do you see what I'm saying? And they already saying that the World Economic Forum is already saying that the CBDCs, central banking digital currency, that's right, meaning no more coins, no more dollars, but the central banking digital currency, they already saying they want it implanted under the human skin. They already saying they want it in you. They want your money in you, or you will not be able to partake in society, which means you cannot buy, nor can you sell. You can't buy nothing and you can't sell nothing if you ain't willing to take this mark of the beast. Okay, United Nations, right? Sustainable Development Goals Summit 2023. So this is what they're doing now. So while everybody's being entertained and being distracted and everybody's in relaxation and comfortability, they're over there planning on what they're getting ready to do to the next phase or for the next phase of the implementation of this global transformation and this new world order agenda. They want everybody jumbled up in grid-like cities where everybody got solar panels, and they want everybody to be under surveillance. They don't want anyone in rural areas, meaning where's agriculture and farmland. They don't want anybody out there. They want hundreds and thousands of acres of land belonging to them, all the while lying to you, telling you that it's for the betterment and it's for humanity, but yet you won't have any allotment and you will not be able to receive anything or be a part of any land. You will not own any land. You won't have access to any land because they want you in the city. They want you in jumbled up cities together with the solar panels so they can have global surveillance. Y'all better hear me. And this is what they saying. I ain't saying it. They said it. See, I'm not saying this. They said it. It's just that they know heathens ain't going to research. All you got to do now is type in the search engine and people still won't get it. The 2023 SDG Summit, Sustainable Development Goals Summit, will take place on 18th, 19th September 2023. It says it will mark the beginning of a new phase of accelerated progress towards the Sustainable Development Goals with high-level political guidance on transformative and accelerated actions leading up to 2030. So now what are they saying? They're saying that they are expediting the goals and the agendas of 2030, which means that they want to speed this process up. They want to speed this new world order up. That's what that means. Okay, let me help you. That means they want to speed up in this old system. They want to speed up financial collapse. They want to speed up famines. They want to speed up poverty. They want to speed up, impoverished conditions, deplorable conditions, living arrangements. They want to speed up hyperinflation, meaning that your money, your salary won't even be able to buy you a head of lettuce and a bag of apples. They want plagues, meaning they want sicknesses and diseases and plagues, which they coming with that now. How many people gonna be down with not being able to partake in society? Because for many, that means, you mean to tell me I can't eat my steaks, my crab legs, and I can't watch my football game, and I can't live in luxury, and I can't, yeah, Bubba, that's what it means. You won't be able to buy and sell. You won't be able to have a job, because in order for you to work, you're going to have to take whatever solution they offering you in order to be employed. And then, so what you going to do? Are you going to take the solution, or you going to rely on y'all's provision? But the only way you're going to be able to rely on y'all's provision is if you get in his word now. You need to strengthen your relationship up with the Most High Yah now through his word, so that when it's time to lose, when it's time to really turn down, when it's time for you to really have to fast, you know how to do it. When it's time for you to do without stuff, you know how to do it. When it's time for you to have to make a critical decision between life and death, you'll be able to do it. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? But if you don't have a relationship with Yah, which you can only have a relationship with Yah through the Spirit, which means that in order for you to have a relationship with our Heavenly Father through the Spirit, that means that your flesh gotta die. That means that you can't have everything you want. You can't have everything to drink, everything to eat. You can't watch everything. You can't listen to everything. You can't hang with everybody. You can't be everywhere. That means you're going to have to sit down. Sit your tail down somewhere. And say, look, man, I need to get in the word. I need to hear what Yah is saying. I need to get focused. I need to know what's going on. Because Yah is judging, and it ain't going to get, let me help you. It ain't going to get better. Okay, for all you Christians, it ain't going to get better. Pastors, stop lying. It's going to get worse. The only thing that's going to get better out of this thing that's going to get worse is you and your family by getting in the Most High. That's it. The Most High Yah, yeah, that's the only way you're going to be better. That's the only way you're going to be better. And you still going to go through it. Want me to tell you why? Because the scripture said that, guess what? It's going to be hard for the righteous to be saved. It's going to be hard for the righteous to be saved. Did y'all hear what I just said? It's going to be hard for the righteous to be saved. And if it's hard for the righteous to be saved, what about the unholy and the sinner? What about those who sinners? It's going to be hard for the righteous to be saved. Why? Because we got to endure through all of this foolishness. We got to endure through the financial system collapsing. We got to endure through through all of the demonic activity and the witchcraft and the homosexuality and them pushing the switching up of gender roles on our children in the school system. We got to operate through that. We got to take the hate from our family members who are going to hell because they do not believe in Yah. You understand that. We got to deal with the persecution. We got to deal with the hate. We got to deal. And it's going to be hard for the righteous to be saved because some people not going to make it because they're not going to be able to endure the intensity of the heat that's going to be served to refine and test us like gold. Do you hear me? So most people, it's just going to get so hard. It's going to get so heated up. It's going to be so intense. It's going to get so heavy to where most people going to fall off. So it's going to be hard for the righteous to be saved. Now, if you a sinner, you done. I know what you're saying to yourself. We ain't going to be here. You probably right. You ain't going to be here, but you ain't going to be in heaven either. You going to be in hell. The 2023 Sustainable Development Summit will take place on September the 18th to the 19th, which started yesterday and in today in New York. It will mark the beginning of a new phase of accelerated progress towards the Sustainable Development Goals with high-level political guidance. High-level political guidance. That means the kings of the earth. That means your mayors, your senators, your governors, your county execs. That means all these people on board. They know what they're doing. Can I help you? Biden, Kamala, and whoever they get ready to put in the office next, they already on board with Agenda 2030. So it don't matter what you heathens vote for. You can vote Democrat or you can vote Republican. It ain't gonna matter. The outcome is still gonna be the New World Order, and it's still gonna be the anti-Mashiach agenda of the New World Order of the one world government, the one world currency, and the one world religion. Ain't nothing you can do to stop it. You can't vote it away. You can't eat it away, sleep it away. You can't even pay it away. You cannot even intellectualize it away. It's coming. You can't do nothing. Only thing you can do is repent. Only thing you can do is get your houses in order. Stop listening to your friends who got worldly suggestions and worldly solutions, which are doing nothing but demonizing you and causing you to lean on your own understanding, and it's causing you to walk down the path of destruction quicker. Stop listening to that stuff. Get yourself in the word. Get yourself in Yah's word so you can see what's happening, because that's the real news. The real news is what Yah said in his word. That's it. You can't stop what's coming. I don't care how much you pay the pastor, you can't stop what's coming, because the pastor can't promise you nothing. He's Baal. He's a Baal prophet. Prophets of Baal are the prophets who can't make it rain no blessing down. But you paying the money for them to rain down or promise you a blessing, but they can't promise nothing. You understand? Because they work for a system of Jezebel where the land is drying up. Y'all's drying everything up to show you that everybody you've been relying on for your prosperity, your peace, and your breakthrough ain't gonna happen. You ain't getting it. Ain't gonna be none of that. Ain't gonna be none of what you think it's gonna be. So we see that these sustainable development goals with high-level political guidance on transformative and accelerated actions leading up to 2030 is all a plan to enslave humanity on a global scale. Meaning to take away your rights. Why you think they're taking away your freedom of speech? They're taking away the First Amendment right. And then they trying to take away the Second Amendment right, which means owning a firearm, being able to bear arms. They taking it away. They trying to take all of it away. They taking away it all. Ain't gonna be no human rights. Ain't gonna be no rights. What rights? There will be no more capitalism. What does that mean? Products for profit, owning your own business, being able to take care of your families and sustain your own lifestyle, sustain the lifestyle of you and your family with your own hands, with your own skills, your own creativity, having your own business, making your own money, selling your own products for profit. You won't have it. Ain't gonna be there. They want to take away capitalism, and then you'll be under socialism and you'll be under communism. You're going to be under a tent, an umbrella of socialism and communism, and then you will be begging those over you, the 1%, for everything you want, everything you need. And you will be under surveillance, and you will be timed, and you will be clocked. It won't be no hiding. It won't be no running. Yeah, you hear me? It won't be no running and no hiding. Y'all better get in this word. Y'all better pray to the Most High Yah. Y'all better acknowledge his existence. Y'all better venerate his presence. Y'all better get him. You better lean on him like your life depends on it, because it does. Your life depends on it. Because let me tell you, it's a bad, bad, bad thing to live this life of hell, to live this life going through chaos, to live this life going through failures after failures, going through lack, and then having to die and still go to hell. Because most of y'all are not going to leave this earth until you face and experience everything that involves the coming of the Son of Man, the Son of Elohim, Yahushua HaMashiach. You will not leave. You know why? Let me help you. Because when the times were good, you wanted to stay and live your own life. When the times were good, you wanted to fly around the world and go on vacations. When the time was good, you wanted to fornicate and be in everybody's bed and everybody's business. When times were good, you wanted to be entertained. When times were good, you wanted your pleasure and your luxury and your carnality. When times were good, you wanted your barbecues and your cookouts. When times were good, you wanted the club and turn up. But when times get bad, you gonna be begging to leave? Oh no, sir. Y'all say you gonna stay. The deal with the calamity, the deal with the destruction, only to give you a time to repent. Listen, convened by the President of the General Assembly, the summit will mark the halfway point to the deadline for achieving the 2030 Agenda and the Sustainable Development Goals. Do you know what that means? That means they halfway there. In 2030, they are looking to have this world transformed. So that means you have 6 years. You actually have less than that, because 2030 is just the goal. That's the plan. It could be before that. So you got about 5 years. You got you a good 5 years to get yourself right with the Most High. You ain't even got that much time. You ain't got tomorrow. You need to get yourself right with him today. But what I'm saying in terms of the global scale, in terms of getting yourself together with your family and talking to them and making amends and forgiving folk and putting things in place and putting things in order and making sure, you got 5 years. And guess what? You ain't got time. 5 years is getting ready to go bam, just like that. In 6 years, 2030 will be here. The summit will mark the halfway point to the deadline set for achieving the 2030 Agenda and Sustainable Development Goals. It will be the center, listen, it will be the centerpiece of the high-level week. This is a high-level week right here. This is a high-level week of the General Assembly. It is a high-level week, which means that whatever they're doing this week, they are putting whatever they're doing this week into high gear. Everything's going into high gear. Everything's getting ready to be pushed and accelerated so that they can move this global transformation agenda into full effect mode. That's what they doing. Meaning you ain't got time to shuck and jive and play. You ain't got time to play, but you got every time to get in the word and pray. It's over. It's done. Hollywood is over. Everybody you see now are witches and wizards. That's it. Ain't no more talent. No. It's witches, wizards, clones, beasts, robots, demons. That's it. You ain't got nothing else. Witches, wizards, warlocks, demons, beasts, robots, clones. That's what you got. That's what you got operating. Serpents, pedophiles. That's what you got. That's what you got operating. And based upon the involvement of yourself in the world's affairs, you will adopt that same type of spirit. That's the reason why if you ain't in the word and you in the world, you already know. You already know what they doing. You already know what they're thinking about. See, if you really want to understand where a person's coming from, listen to me. Listen to me well. If you really want to understand where a person's coming from in this day and age, you ain't even got to go far. You ain't even got to waste your time. All you got to do is ask them what they believe. Ask them what they believe about the Bible. That's it. Ask them, anybody you dealing with, anybody you around, anybody you looking to make your friend, anyone you're looking to be close to, anyone that's looking to be close to you. All you have to do is ask them, well, what do you think about the Bible? What do you think about the word? What you think about that? That's going to be your answer right there. That's it. See, I'm cutting down your fight. I'm cutting down your hangups and your frustration by getting in with people, getting connected with people who gonna break your heart, who gonna steal from you, who gonna betray you, who gonna lie to you, who gonna hate you, hate on you. I'm cutting them. I'm helping you. What y'all think about the word? What do you think about sex? What do you think about the condition of this world? That's going to tell you. That's going to tell you right there everything you need to know. It used to be what kind of car you drive. It used to be where you work. And they're going to ask you that, well, what do you do? What do you, it don't matter. It don't matter what you do. Because soon, that's going to be what you do is going to be over with. Soon, what you do, that's what you're going to be doing. And you know what your wages are going to be? You know what your wages are going to be? Go to the 7 seals of the book of Revelation. Go to the third horse, the horse of famine. It's going to be a quart of wheat and 3 quarts of barley for a day's wages. That's what your pay going to be based upon what your occupation is. So it ain't going to matter what you do. Your profession and your occupation ain't going to mean nothing. Because you're going to get the same amount as everybody else getting based upon your service. Why? Because it's going to be the 1% against the 99. You and I do not fall in the 1%. We fall in the 99%, which means that if you are a working class millionaire, you 99%. Which means that if you make 6 figures, 99%. Which means if you make 50, 60, 70, 80,000, you 99%, meaning you are the debt slaves, meaning you are, y'all better listen to me, meaning you'll be on the lower half of society because you won't be in the 1%, because your 1% going to be your billionaires and your trillionaires that own everything. These going to be your Elon Musks and your Bill Gates and your Warren Buffetts and your George Soroses. China already owns 384,000 acres of farmland over here in America. They already stockpiling a lot of the United States of America's food supply. Then you got Billy Gates. That boy, he owned 269,000 acres of farmland. So that just goes to show you, you heathens ain't gonna get nothing. You know what you're gonna get? Let me help you. You're gonna get sword, violence, famine, no food, and plague, diseases. That's what you're gonna get. You know why? Because you turned your back from the Most High Yah and you put everything before him. You worship everybody and everything in every place you go. You worship all of that before him. So you say, okay. See, the Most High Yah has a way of giving you over to what you serve. If you serve money, he gonna give you over to it. But it ain't gonna be you giving over to the money like you think. You think he gonna give you over to the money and you gonna live a life of luxury and pleasure and you gonna have a ball. No, he gonna give you over to the money and the money is gonna make you miserable. Whatever you love the most, whatever you love over the Most High Yah, he gonna give you over to it. Okay, you love your fraternity and your sorority more than you love me? I'm gonna give you over to it. I'm gonna have demons. I'm gonna have them same demons that you on oath to. I'm gonna have them come in your dreams. Y'all better hear what I'm saying. You want to be on oath to these Babylonian, these Egyptian, these Roman and Grecian gods through your affiliations with these secret societies? I'm going to have the same people you pledged your oath with. I'm going to have your frat brothers and your soror sisters. I'm going to have them turn against you. I'm going to have them plotting on you. I'm going to have them hating you. I'm going to have them stealing from you. I'm going to have most of them even thinking about killing you. Y'all better hear what I'm saying. Whatever you love the most over the Most High Yah, he's going to give you over to it. 2030. Convened by the President of the General Assembly, the summit will mark the halfway point to the deadline set for achieving the 2030 Agenda and the Sustainable Development Goals. It will be the centerpiece of the high-level week of the General Assembly. It will respond to the impact of multiple and interlocking crises facing the world and is expected to reignite a sense of hope, optimism, and enthusiasm for the 2030 agenda. Ain't nothing about this Agenda 2030 going to bring a sense of hope, optimism, meaning positivity, enthusiasm, meaning excitement and joy and happiness. Ain't going to bring none of that. Why don't you see this on mainstream TV? Why don't you see this on mainstream news? Why isn't the president talking about this? Why isn't my pastor talking about this? You need to ask yourself the question. Why my pastor ain't said nothing about this? With all the degrees. They got all the degrees, but they ain't saying nothing about that. Y'all don't find that strange? The president didn't say nothing about it. My pastor didn't say nothing about it. I don't see the entertainers talking about it. I don't see nobody saying nothing about it. That should tell you. But wait a minute, it's your fault. You know why? Because although they're not saying anything about it, you can look it up. Because I'm looking it up right here. I got it. I'm reading it. So it just goes to show you that they have things hidden in plain sight, because that's what Satan is doing in the end time. See, Satan, he has hidden things out in plain sight. That's what these people do. They hide things in plain sight because they got you brainwashed. You got all the aluminum and the fluoride in your brain. All you do is eat and you get fat and you get stuffed and you want to lay down and feel pleasure through sex, fornication, and all of that. So you know you ain't going to see none of this. You don't even care about none of this. So it's not like this stuff is hidden. Everything I'm saying tonight is out there. You can see it. You can get it. It's just that people are brainwashed. They are oblivious. They're distracted. After they did a whole series of righteousness, stuff that you should already know, here we are. Now, y'all know we need teachers about all of this. We need teachers about righteousness. We need teachers about faith, about grace. We need teachers about the law. We need teachers about marriage. We need teachers about spiritual warfare. We need teachers about everything. But what I'm saying is that they hanging on one topic. That's the problem. You see the problem? The problem is not that they're preaching and teaching about these other things. The problem is that they stand there on them same topics to keep them from going to the important, vital issues of the day. That's the problem. But they got the degrees and they have the people paying them based upon their level of education, but they're not even teaching and preaching to the magnitude and capacity of the level of education that they received, y'all. And that's where the disservice is coming in. Now, y'all got all of this education. Now, I need to hear y'all speaking about some stuff. Stop telling me about how to rear my children and how to operate in my marriage. And if y'all don't know that by now, something wrong with you. I mean, I know that we need to give refresher courses, and we need to go back over these teachings. But what I'm saying is that before we get to these teachings again, we need to touch a variety. We need to touch a wide variety of issues before we get back to this. Do you understand? That's what I'm saying. And if it just seems like every week or every other week, we talk about the same thing and we're going through the same scriptures and we're going through the same topics, your pastors are lying. They ain't got the spirit. The people are dumbed down enough to receive just what the pastor keep preaching. And they have been programmed and primed and trained to believe that they've received a new revelation off of the same stuff, repackaged with no nutritional value. Come on. And this is where people are spiritually deficient because they ain't really getting nothing, but yet they jumping and shouting and hollering and singing to the same stuff they already got. And they can't even tell that it's prepackaged and they got it already. Come on. And instead of getting down to the get down, Revelation 13, that's what the pastor should be saying now. Every pastor in every Christian church around the United States of America, unified everywhere, globally, Revelation is where we should be at. Revelation chapter 13. Come on, we need to stop playing, man. That's how you know they're preaching for the money. Now, y'all know I do teachings on giving and things like that, which that's supposed to be. But if a pastor's main objective is to receive and to get blessed, and for people to, he done. He already got the wrong motive. Because if you preaching right, all you got to see, if you preaching right, the Most High take care of you. He'll make sure he compel hearts, move hearts. He'll make sure he shifts things. See, he becomes your portion. We're not preaching and teaching for the income. We're teaching and preaching for the outcome. Because what difference do it make what's coming in if what's going out is demonic and activity and witchcraft and foolishness and lies and deceit? It don't make a difference. Because then that's blood money. The blood is on your hands based upon the money they gave you, because their blood is on the money they gave you because you preaching them into hell. So then that money you getting don't mean, the money you been getting ain't gonna mean nothing. Because then the people gonna die in sin, never knowing what they should have known, which you had the capacity to preach and teach. Because you had the education, you had the microphone, you had the platform, you had the title, you had the position, Pastor. What happened? What happened? What is the beast? Y'all know the beast is a superpower, a political power, a kingdom and a nation. That's what a beast is. So anytime you hear a beast being referenced in the Bible, is talking about a system. Always remember that. The beast in the Bible is referring to a system. Is referring to a system. Okay? Any type of system. So Egypt was a system. Assyria was a system. Babylon was a system. Then you had Persia was a system. Right? Persia was a system. Greece was a system. Rome was a system. All of these systems were beast systems. And now we are in end time Babylon, because we had a system which comprised of ancient Babylon. Ancient Babylon was a system. That's where Nimrod and Semiramis was ruling. Come on, that's Nimrod. That's what these global elites, that's what all these people are operating off today with this Freemasonry knowledge. They operating off of the same thing that Nimrod and them was operating off back in ancient Babylon. That's the reason why all of your pagan religions and all of your pagan systems stem from ancient Babylon. Because Nimrod was trying to create a new world order then. But remember, Yah stopped him and ceased the building of the Tower of Babel. Because had Nimrod been successful in establishing a new world order, Mashiach would have never came. Then we would have been all doomed to hell. Everybody, mankind would have went to hell. Boom, no propitiation for sins, none of that. Ancient Babylon was where all your pagan false religions stem from. Your pagan religions, your pagan political systems and everything, right? Even I would even say your entertainment, all of that stems from Babylon. But then we know that all of these were systems, right? So ancient Babylon was a system, right? The kingdom of Babylon, King Nebuchadnezzar and all of his officials and diviners and magicians, right? The kingdom of Babylon, that was a system. Now we are in mystery Babylon, which is a system. It's a political system. It's a religious system, and it's a commercial system, meaning that Mystery Babylon is political, it's religious, and it's commercial. So you have political Babylon, religious Babylon, and commercial Babylon. So this is Mystery Babylon. This is the reason why you can't quite understand everything that goes along with it. As much as we know about Mystery Babylon, we don't know nothing. Why? Because it's a rabbit hole in terms of what Mystery Babylon entails. Everything steeped and drenched in the blood of the saints. That's the reason why Yah is allowing the sins of Mystery Babylon to pile all the way up to heaven. Why? Because of her crimes and her wickedness. See, because Mystery Babylon entails the United States of America. It entails the Roman Catholic Church, Christianity. It entails the Illuminati. It entails the Jesuits, the Society of Jesus. It entails the Creator State of Israel. It entails the media. It entails Hollywood. It entails all that. That's the reason why if you try to go down that rabbit hole without Yah's word and being founded on the solid foundation, the salvation, and understanding the good news, if you don't understand Yah in the sense of receiving salvation, justification, and sanctification, and you try to go down the rabbit hole and try to understand and to try to decipher Mystery Babylon, you're going to get attacked. Because you ain't going to have a spirit. You're not going to have enough Yah's word in you to be able to go down that far down the rabbit hole to dig up Mystery Babylon's crimes. Because there's so much stuff that's hidden. And this is where all your pagan celebrations are rooted in. Your pagan celebrations are rooted in ancient Babylon, but now here we are in Mystery Babylon, and that's the reason why people are blinded to it. They can't see that your Christmas and your Easter and your Halloween and your Thanksgiving and your Valentine's Day, all of these celebrations are rooted in Mystery Babylon. They're rooted in ancient Babylon, and it comes all the way down to Mystery Babylon, meaning it's mysterious confusion. The root word to Babylon is Babel, which means confusion. So people are confused by mysterious information, stuff they can't even make sense of, and then it's confused. It's confusion. That's why. What is the system we living in? We living in a system of confusion, mysterious confusion. Y'all understand that? That's why no matter what you see, you don't really know what's behind what you see unless you had a spirit. You got to have the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit. You got to have Yah's word in you to be able to even understand just a little bit of what they doing behind the scenes. So that means those of us who are keen to what they doing behind the scenes, we still don't even know it all, because that's just how much they got rooted and founded in Mystery Babylon. See, this is John the Revelator, the Apostle John. This is him giving the vision, right? Because we know that the book of Revelation was prophesied in 95 AD, right? So we've been in the book of Revelation for about 1927 years, somewhere around there. You can do the math, but we already know that the book of Revelation was prophesied after Mashiach was persecuted, years after he was persecuted. Okay. Yeah, about 60-something years after he was persecuted, the book of Revelation, before Christianity was established into an official religion of Rome, before Constantine became ruling, before the Dark Ages, before the papacy, before the European Renaissance. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? So the book of Revelation was already prophesied. So we've been in the end times. We've been here. Here we go. Revelation. Then I stood on the sand of the sea. So John on the island of Patmos, right, being exiled by the Romans, what he's saying? He's saying, then I stood on the sand of the sea. Now we know the sea represents a widely populated area. Then I stood on the sand of the sea, where a lot of people are, where a lot of people inhabit that area. He says, look, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea. So basically he's saying, I see a system. I see a system rising up out of the sea. Amongst all these people, I see a system coming into position, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and on his horns 10 crowns, and on his heads a blasphemous name. Verse 2, now the beast which I saw was like a leopard, his feet were like the feet of a bear, and his mouth like the mouth of a lion. Right now, we know that this beast with the 7 heads and the 10 horns that John is putting together, we know that this beast represents those 4 beasts that were put together by Daniel. Daniel had a vision of these 4 beasts in the book of Daniel, these 4 beasts, and now we have John putting together this beast. Verse 2, now this beast which I saw was like a leopard. Now we know that the leopard in the book of Daniel represented Greece. His feet were like a bear. We know the bear in the book of Daniel represented Persia, and his mouth like the lion. Now we know that the lion in the book of Daniel represented Babylon. But we know that the leopard represents China also, the bear represents Russia, and we know that the lion represents America. But listen, the dragon gave him his power, his throne, and great authority. Who's the dragon? The dragon is papal Rome, pagan Rome, and Satan. Esau, Edom, that's the dragon. That red dragon, who is that? That was the serpent in the book of Genesis that had enmity with the woman. But now we talking this dragon. All right. So it says the dragon gave him his power, his throne, and great authority. Verse 3, and I saw one of his heads as if it had been mortally wounded, and his deadly wound was healed. Now, we already know that this head that was wounded, I got an extensive teaching on this, so I'm not going to say all the particulars, but this head that was mortally wounded, what head was this? This was Rome. Remember when Rome went down? When Rome went down in 476 AD? Rome was destroyed and picked apart by these 10 barbarian tribes, or these 10 nations, these 10 European nations, these 10 European barbarian tribes that tore apart, broke apart Rome. And now we're living in Rome today. This is divided Rome. This is the Roman Empire, yet the United States of America is Egypt, but yet is Rome. Okay, let me put it to you like this. The United States of America, this is what makes the United States of America Mystery Babylon. Why? Because it's Egypt in nature. But then it has a Roman style government. That's the reason why we got presidents, mayors, governors, senators, magistrates, law enforcement. We got everything that was implemented in the Roman Empire. So we live in Egypt based upon the bondage and based upon us being debt slaves. We live in Egypt, but then we live in a system of Babylon, Mystery Babylon. Why? Because of the pagan religions and the pagan celebrations, right? And all of the pagan gods, the idols and all of that. So that's Babylon. But then also we live in Egypt under a Roman style government with the spirit of Babylon. So he says, and I saw one of his heads as if it had been mortally wounded, and his deadly wound was healed. What does that mean? That meant that Rome was wounded, but then Rome came back to power. What was the deadly wound that was healed? It was Rome. How was it healed? The United States of America. That's how it was healed. But further than it was healed by the fact that the United States of America came into position modeled after the Roman Empire, what you getting ready to have? You're getting ready to have the United Nations. That's getting ready to be the prodigious. That's getting ready to be the big, prodigious, humongous, paramount Roman Empire. And this Roman Empire, this last day Roman Empire, is going to be a conglomeration of every nation in the entire world. Y'all understand that? Okay, let me help you. Now, why would I say that this head that was mortally wounded, why would I say that that's the United States of America based upon Rome being destroyed? The reason I say that is because the United States of America, which is a worldwide global military power, right? Well, this is what you would recognize, or this is what you would refer to as the smaller beast. This is the smaller beast system. The United States of America, which feeds the larger beast. What's the larger beast? The larger beast is the United Nations. That's the reason why it takes your tax dollars. See, you hardworking bag chasers who love the money and love your pleasure and love your luxury, you don't even know that you are funding the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals to enslave humanity, enslave you out. That's where your tax dollars is going. That's the y'all understand what I'm saying? So that's how we know that this wound is healed. Okay. Verse 3, and I saw one of his heads as if it had been mortally wounded, and his deadly wound was healed. And we know that that wound was healed, right? That we know that one of them heads were mortally wounded, because we know that during the Dark Ages, in between 538 AD and 1798, what happened? The papacy went down. The papacy was the anti-Mashiach power during the time of Rome, during the Dark Ages, and this anti-Mashiach power was given to the Pope at the time of the Dark Ages. So we know that the papacy was an anti-Mashiach authority. But guess what, though? That the Pope and the Roman Catholic Church had went down. That whole papal system had went down in Rome. And that's the reason why it was mortally wounded. But then what came into position? During the time of the declination and the destruction of the papacy, or the Pope, right, who was operating off of this anti-Mashiach authority, what was coming into play? How was this wound being healed? Because the United States of America was facilitated in 1776, right? Well, that was right during the time when the papacy was going down in 1798. So right during the time when the Roman Catholic Church, or the Papal Church, and the papacy, the anti-Mashiach power of the Pope during the time, was going down, what was quietly coming into position? It was the United States of America, to be modeled after the Roman Empire. So now we're living in this Roman Empire based upon the fact it was picked apart by these 10 barbarian tribes, which is known today as Europe. So this is how we know that the Europeans, Esau, Edom, rule in the world. The United States of America belongs to Esau. This is Edom. But then we're being used as debt slaves to fund Edom's bigger project, the Roman Empire, that's getting ready to be used to enslave humanity on a much higher global scale, based upon you loving your life, based upon you loving the money, based upon you loving your pleasure and your luxury, based upon you worshiping other gods, based upon your engagement in these pagan celebrations. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Feel the wrath of the Most High judging. Scared people ducking off, the wicked people running. The plan, he's coming like a lion, not a lamb, to strike down kings with the iron in his hand, yeah.